Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killerrodan. So alright, I just figured I'd just do this for my original channel because as promised before, I want to just be more consistent. And again, of course, I would just say that I'll post a link down below for my second channel where I'll be talking about movies and such, of course, and I will also post a link down below for efforts as well. If you want to see some more gaming content and whatnot. So just doing that out there ahead of time, of course, and whatnot. Anyway, so I just want to do this some more, of course, and have some fun, obviously. And yes, despite the fact it gets violent from time to time, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind when games have some teeth to them. I guess. I suppose. Anyway, so yes, thank you ahead of time for watching, folks. I do appreciate it, obviously. I really do. So anyway, yada yada, blah blah, so on and so forth. So let's just get into craziness, shall we? And just have fun, like I said. Here we go. Yeah.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about. I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more. Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens. Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
What do you need?
Why are we stopping? There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Okay. Again, I have to say I really like the character designs in this. The character designs in this game is really good. Are really good, really. The character designs are really nice.
Yes.
I can definitely say that. That's for sure. Okay, here we go.
Sitting, as you observed.
Alright then.
It's what you asked.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Huh?
Warden, if I truly disliked you, I would leave. That I am still here, you may interpret however you choose. I did. Parshera, was there anything else? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To answer a question. Were you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed? That is your answer. Why do you? Do you think the Kunari live on some other world, then? A portion of it. Why do you? Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arashok sends me and I go. Parshera. Was there anything else? As you wish.
So here we go, I suppose. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's kick some ass, I guess. Of course. Woo! I don't see why not. I don't see why the hell not. Just do what I gotta do. Okay.
Bandits are back again.
I do like how the fact that the world is very expansive. Very expansive. I like that. I really do. So here we go, I reckon. Oh, yeah. Just keep on going with this stuff, folks. I don't see why not. This has been fun, obviously. Keep saying. But yeah, I do like the fact that there's a lot to visit here, folks, and I do need quite a bit. I guess we just keep going, I suppose. Here we go.
You are a priest?
Yeah, who else do we have to talk to?
I was a lay sister of the chantry.
Let's go here, I reckon.
Which means...
Sure.
I lived and worked in the chantry, but I did not take any vows.
So you dabbled in priesthood then?
Oh no, the lay sisters don't have the same sorts of duties as priests at all.
So you were not a priest, did none of their duties, and took no vows, but you lived among them?
Yes.
You were a house guest of the chantry?
Sort of. Yes. Well, here I am. Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose. When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Personally speaking, I don't mind if this is very dialogue heavy, because it does suit what they're trying to do. I mean, when I say they, I mean the people who made this game. It's fine. I mean, I have no problem with this whatsoever. I mean, I want to see more action, obviously, but I'm just saying that. Whatever, suppose.
Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now. Yes? Well, here I am. Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth? Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists? Well, if Flemeth really exists, she would be very, very old indeed. Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love. Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds. Chantry lore says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin, and it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris. Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay. A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered. Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Killerrodan in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Killerrodan was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Killerrodan tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Killerrodan declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Killerrodan was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat. The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Avelin's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Avelin and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Avelin the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier. Which one? I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish. Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burnt at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter. I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her? This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
Just keep going. Oh yeah, definitely. Just keep going with this fucking crazy shit that's going on here. Okay, whatever. But yeah, let's just keep it going, I guess. But yeah, here we go.
Are you here to see the Reverend Mother too?
Oh shit. Okay.
She's wonderful, isn't she? I came to ask for a blessing. With my family abandoning the farm to flee north, we'll need all the grace the Maker can offer. Well, good luck to you. I need to get underway. If I'm lucky, I'll make it back to the farmhold by nightfall.
Okay, but again, folks, I will leave a link down below for my second channel. And Alphas as well, just throwing it out there for anyone that's watching this.
We needed more fighting.
What do you need?
Don't you see how scared everyone is?
The blight has truly come, and the king is dead. We're all
That creature is a killer. I
As
hope
if
the
we
revered
needed
mother
more
knows what she is
fighting.
doing, letting him
Don't
die.
you see
Yes.
how scared everyone is?
As you wish.
Please, we came here to get away from the fight.
No, I cannot. Sorry.
You dare to bring that canary here? Get him out! Out!
I sense I am unwanted.
This is intolerable. Leave at once.
Yes? What can I do for you? I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
Oh, sure. Whatever, mate. God damn it, son of a bitch. What else we got going here? Okay.
I'm sorry, but I must prepare the chantry's vestments
I
before
brought
we
my
go.
family to
Yes,
Lothian
there is
because I
time.
thought it would be safe.
They're locked up in the cage. I thought there would be soldiers here. Oh, at least a place to hide. It's terrible. So many come to Lothering seeking refuge, only to find that we can offer little more than prayer. Does the Maker see our plight? Is he moved by this destruction? I apologize. The Maker's plan is too grand for me to fathom, especially at times like this. The Chant of Light. Surely you know it. Perhaps you haven't heard these verses before. The entire chant takes weeks to sing and is only done straight through at the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux. Here we can only sing a few verses per week and finish anew each first day. When the prophet Andraste was burned by the Magisters, the Maker turned away from his creations. We gain his forgiveness by spreading Andraste's teachings. The Maker will return when the chant is sung from the four corners of the world. He created this world. Every sunrise is proof of his existence. Every child born shows he loves us still. The revered mother presides over the chantry, and Ser Bryant leads the few Templars guarding us. May the Maker watch over you.
As if we needed more fighting here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
I brought my family to Lothering because I called it.
That's a point ass. Yes, and there's not a really whole lot of action going on here, folks. I know. I realize that. I know. I realize there's not a whole lot of action. But okay, whatever. Whatever.
Sorry,
Whatever.
I can't
Let's go.
talk. I must watch over these wagons.
Okay. Okay. Blah, blah, whatever, motherfucker. God damn it. Okay. Sure, whatever. Woo! Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Motherfuckers. Let's do this shit. Like, god damn it. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. Sure. Alright then. Yeah, let's just keep going, folks. I reckon.
Were you really in that cage for 20 days?
It might have been closer to 30. I stopped counting after a while.
What did you do? I mean, 20 days is a long time to sit in one place and do nothing.
On good days, I posed riddles to the passers-by, offering them treasures in exchange for correct answers.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whatever, mate.
too bad. That's got serious potential.
Sure. All right then. All right, let's go. Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's do this shit. Oh yeah.
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
Master Killerrodan runs.
What do you need?
Hard. Harder still
Ask
since
away.
the guard.
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact. Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Our Lehman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him any more for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough. I was young and resentful and not very pious. Of course I blamed him. I remember screaming at him like a little child. Well, I was a child, so I doubt he was surprised. Our Lehman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming. Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story. What do you need? Ask away. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know. I'd use my shield if I could, but I think you might actually spot me hiding behind it. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. Then let's just get back to what we were doing. No offense, but I'd really rather not discuss it. What do you need? Ask away. I suppose I could, but I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, She made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word. Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
I brought my family to...
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?